I don't even talk.
Anybody gonna use that?
Ding ding. Anybody?
No,
Ring the ding.
Oh, the fun camera. All right. Check this out, y'all. It is after 5 yet before 7 on a Sunday. So y'all know where we at, y'all. Hustle Different Podcast. You are here with your boy, Dave Grady, unofficial mayor of St. Louis, and everybody's second favorite light-skinned homie since Shantae is here. And I think I guess might be a little bit lighter than me,
and
so it might put me in third.
Why are y'all talking
No,
about
I got him.
Nobody
Okay.
Me and Justin.
See, now I feel like segregation.
This show, dude.
Also, the QB, and sitting across from me as always is Jay the Historian in the building. We got Shantae in the Rise of Death. We got Beans on the scene, and our number one dog in the house, Cujo. Cujo in the building. What's happening? Joe Jackson. AKA Joe Jackson, because we'll let him break that down for you. And then in the background, y'all know, when you put the logos together, it makes something crazy. Dave Moore in the building. Y'all can't see him off camera, but I'm gonna put him on camera. Back there, boom. DLM, check him out. Look at he back there in the cut. Come on,
we got June made it.
Come on, we got June in the building. Hey, June, say what up to everybody. Come on, he
Private Chef June made it.
We gonna pull some chairs. We gonna pull some more chairs up. Show. We gonna get everybody in the conversation. We're gonna get you guys over here. We're gonna have some fun. But our special guest, Shantae and the Rhymes of Death. I'm gonna let her handle this intro because I believe she knows this person probably better than anybody at this table, and we're gonna let her make the intro. And I'm getting ready to go. Come on, do it. You know what we do. Come on now, you know what it is. Come on.
This is the hall to her ocean.
The fellow sitting to my left and to your right, if you're watching on film, is none other than Big Daddy.
That voice.
AKA.
That's what got me.
Cornell Young the fourth.
Yes, give it up, y'all.
I so happen to be married to him.
Y'all in the building. Give it up for Black Love.
Sometimes I swallow, sometimes I don't.
Oh Lord, here we go. She know. Hey, look, he obviously know what's going on because he's here right now.
Man, this is a queso bill.
Queso, what?
Right. So, hey y'all,
rewind.
we're gonna let Brother Cornell give us a little background on himself. And then we'll kind of get into what we do and why he's here and the whole nine. It's going to be a beautiful conversation today. I think everybody tuning in. I had people, I had a few people tell me what you told me, that when we talk relationships on the show, a lot of people engage because it's some things that they can feel. A lot of people are in relationships.
It's
or out of
triggering.
relationships.
It's triggering.
So it's triggering. It's triggering.
Supposed to be
What we're going to do is, hey, Brother Cornell, let everybody know your name. Let them know what you do. For all our young black men out there, show them, another positive role model that we bring on the Hustle Different podcast for y'all. This gentleman here is one of them. So I'm going to let him
before you do that, sweetheart, I fight.
Okay,
Go ahead.
There you go. Okay, she said.
Well, first off, I appreciate the title, Positive Brother. I like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Come on.
I strive to attempt to be that every day, but
You talk real soft, so you might want to lean in a little bit.
I'm an electrician. Been an electrician for 30 years.
Okay.
I'm also a football coach. I've been a football coach for the past 15 years.
Shout out to Squad.
Shout out.
So in that, my mission in being a football coach wasn't just to coach football, right? Like we got all these young black males that are ultimately going to be men one day. So my mission was sort of teach them the X's and O's of football was to teach them how to be men. And I think that's what's missing because a lot of coaches out there, they just want to coach the game, but not coach the end game of these young men's lives. So that was my mission as far as coaching was concerned. And then I'm also this young lady's husband, which is
That's
a whole different
job.
type of job.
Yeah, damn.
That's my fucking job right there. Because her hands are always in some things, if it be it politics or whatever. She's in it, and I'm in it.
Yep, so, podcast. And look, that's a new one to add to the list.
There it is.
Hey,
but the
that's
most
our
important
fault.
thing, bro,
kids today.
thank you for not clocking out. You hear me?
Right.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for not clocking out.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and I mean that from my heart, bro. Like, I grew up in
Somebody clock out from me.
No, it ain't even. it's
You know what?
it's just as men, it's hard to
man,
clock
right?
in and stay
One of
clocked
the
in.
strongest.
You know what I mean? Like, and we from the same time, but we just move different, so we got different realms of life. You know what I mean? And just to be able to sit here and look at me and know you ain't clocked out, I know I can clock in too at some point. Do that make sense?
That's what's up. Yeah.
At some point.
With that being said,
With that
Say
being
that
said,
With that being said, all right, well, hey, yeah, he frequents the show, obviously, so he hears some of the topics we talk about. Just like Big Dave back there, he frequents the show. So I'm gonna do is I'm gonna circle back on some of the stuff that we talk about when he's normally, you know, when he wasn't here. We probably had a small discussion because we jump around a lot. I'm gonna try to keep it reasonable. Like the one about last week we were discussing curbing the violence for this year for the kids. You know, just you know, what is the point of holding stop the violence events where the risk is higher that there's going to be violence at those events?
Well, you still have to do it. So the point, the idea is has to happen. I mean, we can't stop having the ideal of stopping the violence, but what we do need to do is approach it differently. We need to recalibrate the way we choose to handle our young people. Like, it's real hard to come at some young folks from a perspective of you've never done these things and you never put your hands in the dirt. Those of us who had our hands in the dirt before, we need to recognize that the only way we can get to them is the way people could have gotten to us. Like, there were people that had their hand in the dirt that actually helped me. You know, they were able to resonate with me and tell me, hey, look, I've done these things. These are things I did. So now I can trust them because you've been honest with me out the gate. And then you can then redirect my path because now I can see me do something different because you owe the guy. We don't do that. We quick to point our finger and say, you shouldn't be doing this, as if we never did anything. And that's where our main problem comes in. When we're doing certain things, we don't grab them and meet them at this place and then take them to the next place. So we still have to have these events. We just gotta retrain how we think, how we do things in order to reach these guys.
Do you think, and this is just my belief, do you think it's like a misunderstanding of language to a certain extent?
It is. And it's a misunderstanding of language, but to the point I was just making, I don't think that we're honest with ourselves. We have to be honest. You have to be honest with yourself before you can help and be honest with somebody else. So if you say, I'm fucked up, and these are the fucked up things I did, and you take yourself to that place and say, man, I did these things, but I got here. So when you see somebody else doing it, you're not quick to pass judgment. You want to help. Like, I've been there. A lot of times we choose to have selective memory about what we used to be. So we forget that I was this cat. So when we see our past selves, we pass judgment instead of aiding, and that's a problem. So it is language, but it's only language because we choose to speak a different language. We know how to talk to them.
So Cornell, let me ask you a question. So can the same approach that was can the same approach that was used in the 60s, the 70s, maybe even the early 80s, can that same approach be used now?
No.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely not, and it can't.
And can you tell me some of the reasons why?
Well, in that era, we were a different people because we were going through different challenges. I mean, those challenges. I mean, folks going through segregation. People were fighting and struggling just to be recognized as being human still in the 60s and 70s. I mean, that was a struggle then. This is a whole different struggle now. Now we got to teach these young cats how to pull their pants up.
That's just a start right there.
Also teach them how to respect people.
Teach them how to respect people. And that's different. I would tell people.
But don't they go to teaching them how to respect themselves?
It does. But we gotta recognize again where we at. Like these young cats that we talking about. And I remember y'all had a show about this, and we were talking about outside influences social media.
I remember that, yeah.
But to be honest, I mean, y'all met my son. My son was here, and I'm quite sure that he left an impression as a young man. The reason being is because he had parents that was in his ass, and it doesn't matter if I fill this cup up with whatever liquid I choose to fill this cup up with. When I send this cup away full, whatever you put in it is just diluted. But what I put in it is still the major part of what's in this cup. We got folks our age sending our kids out with empty cups, and then want to blame everything else about why the cup is fucked up. Well, you didn't put shit in the cup to begin with. That's why the cup is fucked up. You put nothing in it, and then you were confused about why your child don't reflect you.
You're right. So how you gonna expect them to know something you ain't teaching nothing?
I mean, but that still go back to what he said at the very beginning. We gotta remember what we did. And if you can't be honest with what you did to self to even be there for your kids, how you gonna even give your kids you?
I don't understand how you can't be honest with yourself knowing that you did these things. You know what I'm saying? If you did some shit and you see your son or doing some shit, you already. I mean,
these new people want to forget. They want to forget. They want to act. They want to act like it didn't happen.
Some people want to whitewash it.
Yeah,
it's just like when I was posting Sexy Red, a lot of the chicks was like, and some of the dudes, they like, why you pumping it? I say, listen, if Sexy Red got more of an influence over your kid, over your daughter than you do, then that's a problem you got.
Yeah, but I'm saying Sexy Red just like her mom.
Well, I'm saying, but
I'm just saying it's not her fault. Though.
So I'm saying,
so
when I was bigger earlier, they'd be like, Jay, why you doing that? Why you keep on? I say, listen, man, this young lady have found a gateway for herself. You know what I'm saying? And then the same women, and some of them were on my page that were admonishing her. I say, don't forget, I know what you did last summer. Please don't make me pull these freaking pictures out and post them. Please. But hold up. But see, it's the same thing to go with what you were saying. How can you not be honest? Because they not in that space no more, so they want to forget. If it was, excuse my part, if it was a lot of whole activity and they was doing that, they want to forget about it. I know chicks that moved out of St. Louis because of that.
And I'm gonna tell you, in my own personal experience, everybody have a past. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And I went out of my way to erase my past from my kids because I know who I was. So you say you be honest with yourself. I was honest with myself early. So with my kid, my oldest son 32, my youngest son 28. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of stuff I know they remember, but it's a lot of stuff I know they don't, and that was done on purpose by me. It was a lot of situations they was in. I'm saying I know who I was, and I was kicking myself later. That's who I was, Mr. Kick Yourself Later. You know what I'm saying? I just was lucky enough to miss the pitfall. You know what I'm saying? I was just lucky. That was pure blessings, on my end.
And I was happy enough to be able to see that process, right? But like with my kids, it was different because like I got an 18 and a 9, right? My 9, he won't know what the 18 know. Right. But like the 18 had to know like certain things. Like even though I might have been doing negative, and they wanted to go with me, and I was a parent. I had a daddy too, you know what I mean? So it was like, all right, I figured out a way. So I started selling CDs. In the midst of selling other shit, y'all sell this, y'all keep all y'all money. Y'all sell them for $5 a piece, y'all keep 3. Save 2 so you can re-up. Right?
You
like
taught them the drug game legally.
I
Look
didn't.
At God. You did.
But see, at the same
Legally.
But this is what it turned out to be.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they didn't see the drugs, they only saw the CDs. What they saw was, oh, this is how you manage your money. Now I got this for the re-up. I can spend it. Yeah.
Well, see, my whole
hustle
point
different.
And hold on, the point, I'm glad you went there, because my whole point was bringing up is that we don't have people to hand off knowledge no more, because it's turned into a, it turned into the more knowledge I get to self-preserve how much I feel smarter than people.
Ain't that crazy?
And nobody gains from that.
Nobody.
You get what I'm saying? But it's a self-preservation thing, because that's what hate is. Hate is self-preservation. Hate is a way for me to make myself feel better about something you have I don't have. You see what I'm saying? Whether it be you got more hoes than me, I might have more money than you, but I'm going to still hate on you, and your partner going to be like, why you hating on this broke ass nigga, not really knowing the internal battle that you going through, because He didn't mess with the same gear as you mess with. You got $1 million. He don't even got it. He pulling up on the BMX.
1350.
You riding past in the Bentley and this nigga bike leaning up against the fence. And you mad as a
turned upside down.
I'm glad you used that analogy because in this day we live in right now, right? We allow the visuals
we fronting
to dictate the actual,
right?
But I think everybody sitting at this table is tangible.
Right.
What we do is tangible, whether it be the knowledge that you bring, whether it be the spirit and the love and the open, honest heart that you have. To stand alone, never clock out. To always be that man that you've been and you've evolved as a person. Taught me how to be the best player I've ever been in my life. Taught me how to talk to people. So for me, I'm 46 years old and I'm still taking everything in.
As you should.
Right? Because as I'm able to take things in, I'm able to give it back just based off the person I am. Like, I can be fucked up. Yeah, Cujo came from a place, but guess what? Joe Jackson about business.
I
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
and business ain't just got nothing to do with money all the time.
Right.
Business got something to do with being what's real, being what's honest, being what's pure. You know what I'm saying? So when it come when it's pure, you can't defeat that.
Okay.
Well, everything you just said though is about the evolution. So, but in order to evolve, you have to know, be honest with where you at and who you were. You can't evolve if you don't see the mistakes, see the errors, see the path,
history,
and build to create something different. You can't evolve that way.
It's called Sankofa. You ever heard
and,
that?
And you can't
know
judge.
that?
And you can't judge once you get somewhere and get out of that. Then you see other folks looking, you know, doing what you did and being how you are, and then you turn around and be like, look at them. And that's the problem that we have. Like, ooh, they shouldn't be doing, don't they know? And then we start turning our nose up rather than saying, damn, this is where they at. Well, maybe I can come over here and have a conversation with them and maybe help them in such a way that's not judgmental and that's not, I'm above you, here, let me help you, little Negro
It's
down here, you know. Yeah.
It's hard for people to not take help.
Yes.
You know what I mean? To take help.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? It's
It
hard
is.
for people
Too much
because
pride.
because you've always, even as from the brokest dude to the richest dude, if it was a man in your life, he always told you, you know what I'm saying? You're a man first. Your pride is everything to you, and people have a misconception of that term, you know, that sentence. I ain't gonna say the term pride is pride, but the sentence in which it's used, you know what I mean? So, but
But you know what, Dave, real
ahead,
quick.
go ahead.
In offering and giving help, the person that needs the help, that's whatever's going on with them, man, they gotta admit something wrong, bro. I said it last night on my live, man.
It's hard.
I said if you're not willing to say, hey, you know what, you know, I play a role in this, I'm messed up, I'm broke, I need to. It's just like I said last night. If you're a dope fiend, a drug addict, or whatever, the only way they're gonna be able to get help is if they admit it's a problem. Because if you don't admit it's a problem, you're not gonna do the work to solve it.
Nope, not at all.
You
That's
see
true.
what I'm saying? So
I
a
ain't
lot of
too
people
proud to
don't
be.
want to say. They want to say, well, no, it's because of this. That's not accountability. Accountability is meaning when
we
you
talk-
and that's the worst. That's the most difficult thing for people to take is accountability. To say, hey, you know what? I broke this. I did this.
And you see, me and him,
now you
we
can
already
fix it.
kind of touched on this a little bit.
see what I'm saying?
I'm gonna ask you, Cujo. I'm gonna ask. We're gonna start here. What's the difference between accountability and responsibility? Take your time. Take your time.
Well, the responsibility, that's what you're supposed to do. There are things that we're supposed to be responsible and do. Accountability is taking your part in a situation
What the issue
that
is.
did or didn't go well. I mean, you have to be. That's accountability to me.
Right.
So the responsibility that's just what we're supposed to do. That's just should be ingrained in us.
That's what
do
we
these
were
things.
responsible for.
Yeah.
You know.
Cool. You agree?
I agree. I mean,
That's
ask the
best
question
said.
again.
Accountability or responsibility?
Accountability.
What's the difference?
Accountability is being able to be accountable for when you're irresponsible.
For your actions.
If I'm irresponsible in my actions, I got to be accountable for that too. So to me, they the same thing because I can't sit here and say everything that I say about Hustle Different, and I'm here, I'm locked in, this, that, and the third, and then I turn around and go to
And do something. Say something different.
fake shit lies.
And say something totally
and say something totally different. Right. Like,
and then when you called out on it,
then I act like I don't know what y'all talking about.
you got
all right.
I don't even know that part of the game. I used to run around with the wrong color on in the wrong neighborhood, and I can't say it ain't got.
You got it right.
You got to do what you got to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So, legality or morality?
Morality first.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Legality or morality?
First. I'm a human first.
In the situation where the law applies.
Morality first.
So if you got to stand your ground, you know what I mean. If you understand, stand your ground state. You have an option.
It's just,
and I think that comes down to legality or morality.
I think
shooting
them in
kneecap.
the kneecap.
Like, I can get away. It's the law.
But if you shoot him in the kneecap, you're morally right and legally right.
That's the morality side of it right there. Like morally, I don't have to shoot him, but legally,
But
I
if
can.
you shoot him in the kneecap, you will.
That's a broad strike that you just because you don't just have to apply it to something like a shooting because it could be something that. From a moral standpoint, you do not agree with, but by law, you have to.
Yes.
And I ain't gonna say it because I don't want my whole page to get snatched down. Nah, because I don't want my whole page to get snatched down. But it's certain things, it's certain groups that morally people don't agree with. Okay, but by law, you have to. You have to because if you don't, you're going to be penalized, and it could be you could be penalized professionally,
like paying taxes. I'll say it like paying taxes.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's like
Yeah.
hopping on a bandwagon to me because that's just like saying, just like we all know, the news dictate the way the world thinks. The news dictate the way St. Louis is moved around and where the money going, where the money don't go. That's the local news. So you gonna sit here and say, yeah, the local news right, but in your heart and mind, you know it's wrong. No, that's fucking wrong. Because I live in them environments. I be in them.
But he's saying
that's the same thing.
But it's some things that's legal that you may not agree with. You get what I'm saying? That's all he's saying.
Yeah,
and I don't want to call out a certain
we don't make the laws, and most of us don't have no part into making the vote to make the laws right or wrong. So we can't have no.
But then that go back to voting in general.
And I agree with you.
Right? No, I'm saying
fellas can vote again.
Yeah, our conversations always end up with.
Shit,
you better go vote for the
ass to the poll.
If the president can be a felon, shit.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
they just gonna keep on moving the goalposts.
I mean, he ain't the president right now.
They will always move the goalposts.
So why a felon can't carry a gun now? You know what I'm saying?
A felon is not a disqualifier.
Not only that, why do you got to put felon on the application?
No, it is. It is a disqualifier locally, state level, and federal level. It is not a qualifier for the presidency.
Right.
Everybody, ain't that crazy?
Yeah,
like if I committed a felony right now, I could never run for office.
You can't be the mayor.
I can't
But you
be
can
the
be
mayor.
the president.
But you can be the president.
That's not one of the qualifications.
So when they
for
change
not being
that,
the president, though.
It never.
They
it
not
never
gonna
was.
change.
Man, I always say this shit.
You got to be 35 years of age, a natural
we
born
inherited
citizen.
to be
That's
Americans.
it.
We ain't made
And
to be
then,
Americans.
It's only
registered to
four.
vote.
It's
Gotta
only
be
four
registered to
qualifications.
vote.
Like
That's
bottom
it.
line.
No disqualifications.
Like the bottom line, we inherited Americans. We wasn't made to be Americans. Like at the end, like
We
quit
didn't come
thinking
by
they gonna do
choice.
something for us. Like we got to keep doing what we need to do. What we need to be doing.
that?
This what I'm not saying we do. I'm
saying
saying
the
I'm
majority.
talking
The
about
masses.
in a mass.
The mass.
From motherfucking California to New York.
We
At the end of the
survived.
day, this is what we need to start doing again.
I agree.
It take a village to raise a child. We
I
need to
agree.
begin developing our villages based on people of like-minded minds. And we put our money together. We go out here to fucking Timbuktu, Missouri, and Paris, Missouri, and buy us 58,000 acres of land. And we start building our own shit.
Nah, can
Wait a minute, Lakers or acres?
I
acres.
add that segregation is not a bad thing. I am a fan of segregation.
And you know what? I agree. I
am.
agree with what Kudu just said. I agree with what he said. And you know where a lot of this, there's no but in it because when you say but, it negates
nullify
everything.
it.
Negates everything.
And here's where a lot of this needs to start. There's so many citizens that are citizens, they don't even understand how the law operates and
Absolutely.
how it impacts them. The ignorance of the law does not exonerate you from it.
Does not.
So even just understanding from a local level and then transitioning that to a federal level and understanding how when you vote locally, you can control the dynamics of your neighborhood and just jumping all the way up to the
talk
top
about
government,
that. Hey.
you skipping over bars. You got to control what go on outside of your front gate before you can try to control something that's up here. And that's how a lot of civil liberties are being eroded right now because people aren't doing what they need to do locally to take care of their own neighborhoods.
From
You know why though?
mayors to judges.
they don't know.
No.
See, in Chicago,
No,
they take
hold on,
care
wait,
of
time out.
There you go.
You know why though? You know why? Because we're afraid of change.
I agree.
And that's what
People
that's
don't
what
like
I go
change.
back.
Change is hard,
That's why that's you gotta realize what I'm saying, bro, and really think about what I'm saying. 58,000 lands an acre. I mean, 58 acres of land. 58,000 acres of land.
I was finna get you.
That's as big as St. Louis, right? It's available in Utah. It's available in Montana. It's available in all these places that we have no understanding of, right? And it's tangible. If you got 2, 4, 6, 8, it's 8 of us in here. We can buy the fucking TikTok book and put it together. Everybody do one apiece. We at the end of the year we take that book and we figure out how much land we can buy in these areas that it's available. Don't nobody want to buy because it's rock up under it. Guess what? We'll figure out a way. We can build motherfucking container homes. We'll figure out a way, right? We can grow on it. We just got to find the water source to, right? It's
Sustainability.
It's the work. He an electrician.
Damn right.
I'm a dental assistant. I'm going to keep everybody's teeth good.
You know plumbing too. He can build some shit.
Bingo.
I can mud and tape and
His
lay
ass
floors.
crack gonna be out in
drywall.
You do drywall. We here.
You know what I'm saying?
We got it.
We got the whole crib.
And then at the same time, we got business individuals that can sit here, and we got a chef in the back. He can make sure we good. And in the first couple of months, he'll figure out how we cook on the stone rock in the hot fire.
I fish.
You get what I'm saying? We got businessmen that's gonna take that extra money off the land and figure out a way to make the money build, so we can build some more shit or buy some more land, whichever is the most important. And we steady come to the table.
That sound like Black Wall Street.
Don't it?
But look, what we need. But okay, to do that, we need the. We could do that. But where we at in our life? Not saying we can't do it now. I'm not saying it's not impossible for us to do it now, but it would probably be more beneficial if you're looking toward the next generation. I'm 52. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you do the math. I do a lot of research. I just don't really put it out there. I like keeping mine internal. I like listening, and then I get confirmation on what I've looked up by listening to people who like to express it, like y'all two, which is cool. I love it because I sit back and be like, damn, look at me over here like this, y'all. Damn, I was right about that.
I knew that.
I knew that. Well, if we teach the younger people this now with the technology they have, everything, it's not like we teaching, like, we not in 1869 talking about what we finna teach the people in 1900.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? We are not there. We are in the super future, believe it or not. Y'all don't really
Most
understand.
of them smarter than us.
It's younger kids that could come in here and do math equations none of us can do. It's kids in 8th grade that can come in here and write an essay. Or it's probably a freshman in high school that's probably the coldest grant writer that ever lived. And you know what I'm saying? You got a whole million. If you Google grant writers, it's going to have that 1,000,000+ ads up there. But you got some kid in the 8th grade that can do that. So it's a difference. But the point is, where are they honing that energy?
There's
You know,
no
if you
place
got a
for them
smart
home.
kid that go home to an abusive parent,
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? Or somebody that's not interested because they're more scared that they're going to... It's fathers out here that scared their kids are going to supersede them.
Ooh, we have that
You
conversation
get
a
what I'm
lot.
saying?
Don't
There
we,
are parents
husband?
out here that are scared. They're like, I'm not going to let you make me look bad. So I'm going to take you out of that school.
Watch this,
Cujo.
Watch
Go
this,
ahead,
Dave.
come
I
on.
guess I got a good circle.
Watch
Come
this,
on,
Dave. One of the first things, not the first thing,
I'll finish with...
but one of the first things you have to consider on a venture like that, which that sounds excellent, is sustainability. And what I mean by that is you have to make sure that the next generation, whether it's your generation or other people that's outside of your family or whatever, that they are invested in that same ideal. So watch this. In St. Louis, Missouri, you had London and Son, okay? A restaurant.
Yeah.
Mr. London and his wife, blood, sweat, and tears to build that business into a franchise locally, okay? Their children didn't have the same buy-in because, like what Cornell was just saying, they didn't necessarily pick up what their parents did, the way that they worked and what they strived for and how important it was to push it forward. You had mothers You had mothers.
They taught their kids.
You had mothers.
They taught their kids the business.
They didn't want to do
But
it.
they
didn't
but
want
they
it.
but
They
they
didn't
they
want
weren't they didn't do the leg work, the sweat equity in order to push it forward. So they didn't have to buy in.
Right.
Now watch this. Terry Crouppen.
Boy,
Andy
his
Cooper,
son.
his son.
Yeah.
So his son, if he have a son or a daughter, they're gonna be alone because they have the buy-in. His son, his son might have wanted to be a musician.
Yeah,
a
but
rock
no,
star.
I get it.
No, you going to law school.
I get it.
Because this company's not gonna
Yeah,
die when I
get
die.
it. I get it.
But that's what I'm saying.
He's not
Yeah,
wrong
I'm
because
not saying.
the Chinese restaurant I go to, when I used to go back in Mohegan
they
Acres
sons
early,
running it. That
that
kid
girl
was
was
little back
pregnant
there,
with that girl was
yes.
pregnant
Now
with
that
that
boy working
boy.
the counter.
That boy is running it right now,
That ain't the same.
How's it not the same?
because he's
They
sports. He was
instilled in
sports.
them
Yes,
to do this.
he was
It
there
ain't
his
even that,
entire
Beans.
life.
Beans,
He
it
was
ain't
forced
even
to
that.
do
I
it.
want to hear what you.
Listen, man. When you look like us, we have never been taught legacy.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
And-
true.
and
That's
we-
true.
You're not
But that's
taught,
basically what I was.
Hold up, you hear me, bro?
Okay.
When you're not taught legacy, yeah, like all the Londons, yeah, they did that. The grandparents and the parents did that, right? The kids lived off of that. So guess what happened? Now them living off of that has turned into what Instagram, Facebook, social media is, right? So they never was taught legacy because the parents didn't know how to teach legacy. They know how to
wasn't taught
talk
legacy.
work. This how we do it. This is what we gonna do. Y'all gonna work here when y'all turn 12. We gonna keep it moving. Y'all gotta make sure it keep going. Now daddy on the dime bed, granny on the dime bed, everybody on the dime bed. Now we just got all this money. Now we finna pop off because now we got $600,000 a piece based off of this legacy, and you destroy it because you're not taught legacy.
Go ahead, Quentin.
All
He
that's
don't just
true.
jump in.
No,
I
he
do.
good.
All that's true, and one of the issues that we have where it's difficult for us to make that thing happen the way you all are describing is because we allow for the slave mentality to stay alive.
Willie Lynch left.
We do. So because we allow for that separation, I mean, they did a number on us because they allowed us to continue to make slaves be slaves. They didn't have to keep breaking us and make us do what they wanted us to do. They taught us to teach our kids that this is what you do, this the box you stay in, don't come out this box. So even still in 2024, we teach our kids to stay in this box. So
Don't upset
those
them.
of us like when like Chrysler came and our parents or us, we start getting those good jobs and shit, and we come from the hood. Like I came from the hood. Like I was messing with dope when I was 13. Like this, I come from that, and to move and to start doing something else and become an electrician, and to be able to provide something different for my kids was amazing. And I never wanted them to walk my walk, but you have people that because you don't want your kids to walk that walk, you spoil them too much. They don't have the same grit we had because we came from the
And
mud
you're
and
not
the dirt.
teaching them that
They
We
came
don't
from
want them to feel it.
clean places. They never saw the mud and the dirt to understand that it takes this to get this. It takes this to sustain this. So we don't teach that. We continue to allow that slave mentality to stay alive and not revert back and say, look, man, you do have these nice things. Motherfucker, this is what you need to do. You have to do these things. And we have to teach our kids their work. Like my boys, and they now say this to other people. One day I was driving down the street in the morning going to work.
I just told
And
Dave about
all
that.
these damn kids, the bus stop is at the corner of our street. So when I'm leaving out, all these kids is standing in the street. So I had to drive around them. And my kids were there too. So when I got home that day, I said, hey, why was y'all standing in the middle of the street this morning? And Cornell said, well, because everybody else was there. And I said, well, this is what I need you to do. Tomorrow when you go down there, stand on the sidewalk. Just walk up, even if they're in the street, stand on the sidewalk. When I drove down the street, all the kids were on the sidewalk. I said, where were they at when y'all got down there? That day when I came home, they said, well, they were in the street. I said, what'd y'all do? We went on the sidewalk. I said, what'd they do? They followed us. I said, so what you just learned was you're a leader. But your ass was following followers. And you didn't even realize that. You standing in the middle of the damn street.
Following somebody.
Following some followers. And they was
you
ready
a
for you
leader.
to lead them somewhere. So, and they was like, oh my God, I never noticed that. So now today, it
We
resonates
just
with
had
them
this
different.
conversation the other
So
day
my
with
point
Dave.
is,
That was some dope shit.
we
though,
don't-
man.
we
We
don't
did.
teach our kids their worth. We just let them follow followers and then expect for them to be something. the people you brought up, the chicken people's name.
London
Sons.
They built a leadership program.
They taught them.
But their kids chose
Did they?
to be followers and follow whatever
They
other
chose to
trend
be
is going
followers.
on
What he
and
said.
not take that over and run it.
I'm a put a pin in that for a second because and we kind of tussled about this in life because he is an electrician and he didn't want our sons to do this hard work to be this hard thing, and I'm like, no, you need to teach them how to be electricians just for no other reason, so in case they fix it at their house, but teach them to be electricians. And he was like, no, they have to be better and they have to do better and they have to be better than me, and I get that, but I think that at some point when you give them a choice and allow them to do something different, they may not choose to be in the London and Sons business. They don't want fucking fried chicken. They want to go out and live off the money that you made and go be an artist some damn where, you know. And so, but you have to at least get one of them, or you know, to do that. But we've given our kids so many choices, and I'm guilty of it. Like I wanted my children to travel the world, and they are doing exactly what I wanted them to do, to follow their dreams. But if I had a business, and when I was catering, I made them motherfuckers get up in the morning, pick up the shit, put the shit on the truck, put the shit over there, you know, and do that work. And now that, you know, they're out in this world, they know how to do it. They were working like for catering companies and, you know, getting money when they were in high school and all that. But we have to like at least figure out one of them when we're talking about legacy, saying, okay, who's going to take this business over? And if nobody says we're not, then that business either has to pivot, or maybe that business would kind of see what one of the kids are doing and maybe expand and do something else. So it's a thing where you either going to force them to do this like the Asians do, because they going to run that shit in the ground, or you have to pivot just a little bit and help them to, well, you know, expand your business so that maybe you can diversify, because this could be a learning experience for you too, to diversify.
You got to show them.
You have to.
You have to show them discipline. And show them the outcome of discipline. What you're showing them.
And that's discipline.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's
expand, Beans. You know,
I just shot it please. You show them how to do the business.
Don't make him talk today.
And show them the outcome of what comes with the business in return of doing this business. So if you're doing this business and the outcome is you're going to make $1 million, you know.
Okay.
And if they don't want to do it.
Hold on, cool. Now, I'm just gonna,
now, if they don't want to do it, they can make some money.
I'm going to spin that for a second. Okay, so just say you a parent. You parents. Y'all going all out to make this money, and you know, my kids, I don't want them to see what I saw. You know, that saying right there, you're already putting them in the pitfall. Setting them up for failure.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care who you are.
You are.
You're setting them up. When you say, when it comes out of your mouth, I don't want my kids to see what I saw. Yeah. I don't want my kids to ever, you know, face what I faced or ever see this part of my life. That is already hindering them, because them seeing that may change the person who they are, because who they may be. It's not like if you was a drug dealer, you have to say I was a drug dealer. No. You can say I was in the street and that ain't where it's at.
No, he said it.
But look,
you know what I'm saying?
What you did as a kid and what you seen made you who you are.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you want your kid to know what you did?
Where you came from.
Right. So
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So when they see something, they can't say, "Oh,
they know it all."
You ain't been through
that.
My
they
son,
say, "Damn,
my dad did." Look, man, he did go through that.
He know what I did. He know where I'm at. Right. I want you to be better than me. Right. You know what I'm saying?
That all the time today.
Right. But see, the whole thing about, okay, so now it's confusing. Y'all had to think about when you was a child. Times were different. You know, there weren't as many voices in your parents' ears that are voices in parents' ears now because of social media. There weren't that many opinions coming into your household when you were a kid that there are now. Your kids weren't coming back home with as much knowledge as they're coming back home with from when we were kids, because we had textbooks. Outside of textbooks, that's what we didn't know nothing. I'm not saying we had common sense, but I'm saying as far as you know, we knew who the 5th president was because the textbook told us. You didn't wake up one day and say, Mom, who was the 5th president? You know, you didn't even know what a president was. Textbooks taught us that. School taught us that. And that is, somebody sat in a room and said, this is how much we're going to teach them. And we're going to give it to them. You hear me? And we're going to feed it to them like this. So they're controlling it. The internet changed that narrative. So we sound like dinosaurs to these people. For kids who were born into the internet. Because the first thing they had was a tablet. We had motherfucking, what was that? Encyclopedia set?
Yeah, the whole set. If you can afford that motherfucker. You had it in layaway.
Botanica encyclopedia.
Now, do you remember that? Do y'all remember going to look up a word? You like A, B, C, D, and then it was like CA through CX. You know, it wasn't even A, B, C, D. So just think about what we had to do to the point where we was like, you know what? Man, I ain't finna go through all that. To now they have it like this. Look. Oh, I know. You get what I'm saying? Where it took us. They used to give us open book tests because they knew we could only absorb so much of that information that week for the test.
But you know the interesting thing about it.
Talk to me, cool.
Is when we talk about passing on business. We talk about what we want to do.
Let me just put a period on. Stay where you at. My whole thing is that you only as good as what you're exposed to.
Yep.
You see what I mean? You're only as good as what you're exposed to. That was my whole point of that. Because if you only exposed to so much, you only know so much. It's not your fault.
True.
If you were only exposed to this. Have y'all ever had a partner and he come over there and your mama make like, you know, a regular sandwich for you, and he looking at the sandwich like that motherfucker came from Antonio's out in Clayton somewhere. Ain't nothing but a snook sandwich. I'm just saying, go ahead, cool.
But you gotta keep in mind, man, like when we talk about passing on money and building legacies amongst blacks, right? Like it don't matter if you go from London and Sons all the way up to
Worldwide Technology.
His kids don't fuck with what he do.
They don't.
So this is what I'm saying.
Not all kids gonna do that.
This the thing, and I think this is what we lost from the homeland. We don't even pay attention to what our kids love and enjoy in some cases. And then when they come up on you, it's a surprise because you got a plan for them. But what make people successful is doing something they love.
So when she said we was at odds at this, we were. I didn't want to teach my boys this trade early on because I didn't want them stuck. And the reason what I mean by that is there's a lot of money to be made in this trade. You make this money early on, then you don't have to do anything else. It's like this is where I'm at, and I'm locked into this because I'm making this. Well, we saw early on what our boys were, what they can do, what they can achieve, and I didn't want them stuck here. Now, it was a gamble because I do have a trade that they can afford a good life for themselves, and I could teach them at an early age. And I was like, well, if they fall and come back, I'll teach them. But I want them to be able to go. And I've seen a lot of folks stay here and get stuck because they didn't want to leave the money because the money was right here. Right. But that ain't your passion. You're doing something that you're able to afford these things, but you still missing your passion because you locked into this thing. And that's where I was at with it. Now, again, it was a gamble that I made.
Let's be clear. I wasn't saying it like that because I've always fed my kids' passions. Always. I'm head cheerleader of everything, all things good and righteous. I just wanted them to have the basic knowledge of how to change the switch or, you know, that kind of thing. And I wanted them to understand that you don't have to go to college. Like college is not the end all be all. It's debt ridden, and that's kind of like when I look at my kids, you know, I'm like, you ain't college material. Not to say that they not smart people, but I knew that they were artistic, and it just wasn't their thing. Oh, you're better at this or you're better at that. Now they went to college and now they got debt, but they're pursuing things outside of college now, and so I just wanted them to have the basic skill set that he had, so they not trying to figure out when something break, you know, how to fix it, and move on to that. But they have gone on, and we have fed, like you said, we have fed My little baby Dave. Hey, Dave. Shout out to Dave, my baby son.
He's watching right now.
He watching? Hey, Dave. That boy has been an artist his entire life. He came up and he was Urkel. This motherfucker dressed like Urkel every damn day when he got home from school. On purpose. Listen, he was liking this little girl, so I took him to the 7-Eleven. He bought flowers.
The voice, the conversation.
He went over to the girl. He said, "Have no fear. The Dave man is here. Flowers for you, my pet." I will never forget that. He was 7, right?
Oh, yeah, he was ready.
We just posted
He
something
was ready.
where then he wanted to
ready.
be Michael Jackson, so I bought him the socks and the glove and all that, and he moonwalked. We got a video of him doing whole Billie Jean, and he went up on the things, and then he wanted to be a ventriloquist, so now he has a Lester because he wanted to be Willie Tyler, so I bought him a Lester. He just picked it up from the house the other day, and so he was that. Anything that he ever wanted to be or do. When he wanted to play football, he was playing football. I'm going to let you tell it. Go ahead, baby.
So, both of my boys were playing football for me. And one year, David just didn't want to play. He was done. I'm like, okay, well, you got to finish this year out. Finish the year out, he quit. Didn't want to play no more. But he came to every practice, every game with me. We had a year we lost every game. David said, "Pop, you know what your team needs?" I said, "What?" He said, "A mascot."
A mascot.
He said, "I want to be it." I'm like, "Fuck!"
I was excited.
Some old clown ass mascot.
I was excited.
So we were the Spartans. we were the Titans. So I went out, man. I got this Spartan type helmet, and I made a cape out of a Titans flag, and got him a sword. Man, David came out, and I'm like, "This what we gonna do, y'all? David gonna lead us out on the field, cause I'm like, my boy he gotta be the shit at this. I gotta find a way to make people respect this motherfucking mascot lane, you know."
He gonna be great.
I'm like, fuck that. So I put more time into making sure his ass did that right than I did my plays that week, man. Anyway, man, David came out and did that. The crowd loved it. The players loved it. They loved following him out.
He had the flag and he ran out with his sword.
So at halftime, I'm working with my team, and I heard the crowd
going crazy. He out there clowning.
This motherfucker in the middle of the field, dancing, doing this thing, and they was loose. They loved it. I'm like, shit. Now I couldn't even watch. I couldn't even handle my team no more, man, because I'm busy over there
being a dad,
watching, and
was
proud as shit of my little mascot.
Yes, sir.
His rap name is Spotlight. Check him out. 369 on all platforms. Okay, go ahead.
What's up, Goo?
He's a rapper.
Like I am who I am, right? I got a son who's different than everything in my family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the shit, it be hard for me to be like, like, how do I do that?
He a little different.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's my son, I'm gonna figure out a way. But at the same time, it's like, how do I change this shit?
You don't change.
But that's why I swear I'm asking from a real place, like. How you walk that walk? Like you, I could tell you ain't no pushover as a person. You know what I'm saying? You stood your ground in your childhood, things of that nature. You know what I mean? Like to come from that place, like, and don't get me wrong, like I wear scrubs every day, so it ain't like I'm walking around like a tough guy all the time. But like, just as a parent of a son who just chooses to do things that are outside of your realm of understanding, like how do you manage, accept, carry on, proceed with all that?
You over there dying.
Look on his face.
Yeah, right there, boy.
You tried so hard to hold it in. I'm
Sorry about that, y'all.
Yeah,
that was a serious
that mean I ain't asking about myself.
That was serious about.
I ain't the only one asking that question. Please, sir. Please, I really need.
How did you? What was
that.
your thought process on that?
Okay, so
other than me fussing.
So we always got to go back. I didn't have a father. I didn't have anybody to nurture anything I did. You know, regardless if it was in the lane of somebody else's lane or not, I didn't have it. So with our sons, all I ever wanted them to be was better than me.
That's it.
And whatever the fuck they did. You know, if it's sports, because I'm into sports, be better than me than that. But if you got your own lane you want to be in,
be the best.
you already are being better than me because you are choosing a lane. So you're expanding lanes because you're going to have my lane. Now you chose a whole nother lane too. So that's an evolution of me. So when I saw my son was an evolution and was going to ultimately be better than me, whatever it is he was going to do, I was going to support it. You know, we're going to be a part of this. Like I said, my knee-jerk response to the whole mascot thing was like, just some fucking bullshit. I mean,
right.
Went to therapy after that motherfucker said he wanted to be a mascot. But at the same time, I love him so much. It's like, but if this what you want to be, we gonna figure this shit out. Right. We gonna be the best mascot.
And he was the best at it.
So that's how you do it, man. You gotta love them more than the situation. And then when you do that, you get into the situation and you start finding ways to make that fit.
How you remove self from that?
Well, you can't be selfish. I mean, you because it ain't about you.
It's about him.
It really ain't about you no more. We talk to people about the way they're raising kids today all the time. Like once you have kids, your life is not your life until these motherfuckers leave.
Yep.
So if this is the space they want to be in, or you know, as long as they're not hurting anybody and it's not going to damage them, it's not about you. It's not. I mean, like David is one of the most unique children anybody has ever met. Especially black folks. White folks always have unique children, but doing different shit. But so David was the most unique person that anybody has ever met, and it was cool. Like people respected that this dude was in his own lane, and even in that, he have folks to this day that respect the hell out of him, even talk about what he used to do, and appreciate that because he brought something different to their life. Let your son bring something different to people's lives, man. Let him be his own person.
And I'll say
and
that it does take a level of femininity to help you with that. Because I'm not, and I get what you're saying, because you would think, like out of all of our sons, David, who is so artistic, is probably more like Cornell in as much as he's extraordinarily manly, you know, in his art. And so then you think, oh, my son gonna be gay, or is he gonna be this, or is he gonna be that? And that's where you need a level of femininity to say, and I don't know the relationship with the mother, to say, no, this is how, this is
always gonna be great.
Right. So you know. This is how it is. And hey, if you can just do it like that. And so with him saying, oh shit, and being, you know, feeling a way about it, I'm like, no, you see how he is. He walks into a room and he believe it or not, he's just now realizing that that's who he is. Like he's very introverted and very like, he's always been under Cornell's shadow and feeling like, you know, he was kind of less than because he's a twin and Cornell is who he is. And so he's just now realizing that he walks into a room and he changes the energy of the room. He walks into the room and he's different. And so what you have to do is allow with his mother to let him be that difference and let him change the energy of the room, because he'll command what it is that makes him great. And then you got to step aside and come out of that macho-ism and be like, yeah, okay, let me do this and let me show him how to do it in a way, like he said, like the best way that he can be that make me comfortable and saying, with it. But I think you should confer with his mother for that.
Y'all talking about Dave.
David's dope.
Son.
Love
y'all
it.
made me realize that's me, yo.
Yeah,
I'm serious. Every room I go to,
and that's true, yo. If y'all go anywhere with this guy right here,
seriously,
when he walk into a room, he can change a somber room.
He says that about me. I change the temperature of the room. He can change a somber room for real, y'all. Yeah. This dude here, it's just his energy.
No shit.
Yeah.
What we do when we go to UMSL? Everybody, it's a line long as shit.
Oh, okay, yeah. We at UMSL. Not at UMSL, at Harris-Stowe. We at their homecoming. We go to Harris-Stowe homecoming.
Tell me about that.
No, come on, cut it out. This was pre-you.
I ain't gonna lie.
This was pre-you.
Y'all should have known the call.
That was pre-you. You wasn't here yet.
But that just made me feel like
this dude is the
You're
dude that
important.
he
You
can
matter.
cut the line.
You
he can
matter.
cut the line and nobody get mad at him. he can, because he make friends with the dude he jumping, and he making friends with the lady right there. Look, he making friends with the dude he jumping, and he making friends with the lady at the counter that seen him jumping. So by that time, dude, like, look, it'd be like this. Oh, go ahead, get in front of me, and look, and I got him. Look, look, I done jumped you, and you gonna pay for my food.
They didn't want to get no food because the line was long. I come back 5 minutes later.
I know you gonna go with this. Go ahead.
What I said earlier, he taught me how to be amongst people, how to talk to people, and how to be accepted by people.
But I don't recall
by
doing
only
it.
being me.
And see, that's the
because
part.
you're you,
Right.
and because you're you.
You're not doing anything. You're just being yourself.
Yeah, that's what makes it special. You know,
Like,
when you acting, you can say, "I remember I was acting like this." But when you just being yourself, they be like, "I did that."
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you your flowers right now,
ahead,
cause
go ahead.
like.
They better be gardenias.
It's gonna be a couple of roses in there too.
I like carnations
And some
myself.
daffodils.
Some daffodils.
And the daffodils.
Daffodils.
Yeah, they're the big pretty ones that
them
lay out like
they
this.
are. They are.
Yeah.
They don't last long, but they lay out.
Hey, but them motherfuckers beat her. Because breakthrough.
What?
Word.
You want that?
Went to
Let
a
me get
basketball
you. I'll get
game
you.
and her stuff. And you was like, hey man, I know you and your brother from the north side, but y'all ain't gotta be so tough. Ain't nobody trying to fight y'all in here. Smile. Y'all got the best teeth in the city.
Hello.
Hey, Cujo.
I said that?
Cujo.
Cuz.
Cujo, can I get 12 inches that way?
I'ma
Jay, can I
slip
get 12
this way.
that way? And here we go.
Oh,
Hey,
shit.
boy, this is what we do, y'all.
Hey, Dave, drop this in the trash for me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is what we do.
Come on,
Our
Dave.
last hour, bring Dave in.
Dave. You know, David is my favorite name. My father's name was David. My son's name is David. Yo, this is my birthday twin. We're Aquarians. Our birthdays a day apart.
Hey, y'all, he's been listening to the whole
That
conversation.
Dave?
We just brought
Go
him in
ahead,
so he can
Dave.
come on in with it, y'all. Let's give Dave more warm welcome.
All
Hustle Dude
right.
Podcast. Y'all know who he is. Y'all know who he is already.
Combine,
We just bring David. Come on now.
combine two
It's
logos.
like
I
that.
got my
So,
boing,
That's what
yoing.
happens. That's what happens when you combine two logos.
Uh-oh. Hey, you need to move the camera?
no, he good. We good. I think we good.
Oh, man.
Because I'm putting him on this view here. I'm going to put him on, bam. He's in
I
there.
can't move over.
He's good.
That man, 3 of
You
me.
say slide over a little
He
bit.
just tall. He just tall.
I got it.
Cujo. He just tall.
Well, check this out. Not changing the
Right
subject,
there.
but earlier today, I was sitting at home, me and my wife, and it's funny. I saw this thing on YouTube, and it said 2 brothers try to kill parents.
Oh, I saw
What?
that.
So
Was them the Menendez brothers?
two
No,
brothers.
2 black
Look,
guys.
that's what's crazy. 2 brothers try to kill parents. So the first thing my wife said was, "It must be some white boys." And I was like, "It ain't." So she was like, "Hold on."
Shut
Look,
the
she said,
front
"Hold
door.
on." She came in the room with me, plopped down on the couch, pulled the cover up, like, "Let's watch it." It was like 30-minute little thing. So it all tied into what we saying, because what happened was the father played football in college. He didn't make the pros, but he was, he's like, I didn't make it, but one of my boys gonna make it. You know what I mean? So you got one son, you can see his physical build. You can tell he was an athlete. He was like, you have a person just naturally not working out, but just
Yeah,
naturally.
big. Yeah.
So he said he played football up until, he was like a freshman in high school. Then he played when he was in college. But after 2 years at college, what happened was when he was playing locally with his father, he was playing. But when he went away to school, his dad wasn't really there. So he really had time to think, like, you know what? I really don't want to play football. So he said he told his father he didn't want to play football. He said he came home for that summer. He said his father did not speak to him that whole summer. He changed colleges, a local college, because he wanted to be going to political science. That was his thing. He wanted to be and go to political science. That's what he wanted to do. So it's kind of saying what we're saying. Here's what he wanted to do. But the father, so it was 2 brothers. A young son played football for a little while, then realized he didn't want to play football, so he got in. But he liked the atmosphere, so he got into the band. He's like, I like the hoopla of the whole football.
He want to be the
thing.
mascot. He want to be the mascot.
He
Got
wasn't
it.
the
Got
baton
it.
guy, was he?
I don't know if he was out there. I don't know. So check this out. So he said that him and his father relationship changed. You see what I mean? And these people wasn't poor. You know what I'm saying? None of that. So it got to the point where he said, okay, well, since you're not going to play football, I'm only going to pay X amount on your college.
That's so terrible.
So then that X amount went down to a smaller amount. Then that amount went down to nothing.
Been filming his jacket.
Then they took his car. Told him, well, here, you can keep the
Just
car,
'cause he didn't
but
wanna
you
play
got to
football.
pay the car note. Just because he didn't want to play football. His brother played in the band. His father came to 2 appearances. 2 games where he played in the band. He said his father did not speak with him. So what happened was they got into an argument one night, and he said that his brother was like, well, it got to the point where the father slapped the son, and the son slapped the father back. You know what I'm saying? They say it got that bad to that point. But sometime that blew over, but then they got into an argument, and the son couldn't let it go. So he went in there, and he tried to smother his father. He said he went in there like 4 o'clock in the morning, and tried to smother his father. Say the father woke up, pushed him off, fought him, the mother woke up. So they end up trying to, let me rewind. They said that they turned the gas on and put gas on the rug and lit candles and left. So the candles would burn down, they would catch, the house would blow up. That didn't happen. They said that didn't happen, so they said, well, the parents going to see the burn marks on the carpet and be more mad about that. So we might as well go on through
Go on, kill him.
with the killing. Jay, look at Jay.
They terrible criminals. They terrible.
And all this was because they felt like they always had to. You know, they would say it was approval. You know what I'm saying? It was like approval. Now, my question is to everybody is that as a parent, when do you not notice? I mean, are you know what I'm saying? When do you not notice how you're affecting your kids to where it gets to that point? You know, there have to be signs. Come on.
It's twofold, though. It is twofold. Because, for one, who doesn't speak to their kid because they don't want them to do what you want to do? You're really supposed to be there to encourage your children and to be that thing for your kids. That's a whole problem. But then when you couple that with this sense of entitlement that they've been given, because clearly they've been given everything because they were doing what the father said. Mm-hmm. So now they have this level of entitlement, like, I shouldn't have. You should pay for my stuff. And we never gave our kids that, but I think the parents were overreacting in the sense of you're supposed to have your kids pursue their passion and pursue who they are, but if you've given them a sense of entitlement that they've never had to work for anything, you paying for their college, you paying for their car note, you doing all this other shit. My kids had to cut grass. I got $50 on the tennis shoes. Y'all better figure the fuck out the rest. So they was cutting grass and shoveling snow in the winter. They were doing things to make money. So I think it's kind of both of their faults in the sense, because for them to even have in their mind, let me go and kill them, it lets me know that they weren't really taught anything, that to say that, or nothing was put in them. Here, let me give you all this shit so long as you do what it is I told you to do. And then now you ain't doing it. Now I'm not speaking to you no more. Now you've created something. So they've created that monster. Okay, I'm done.
But then
Go ahead.
Imagine the level of trauma that you got to be going through to say, I got to kill these motherfuckers.
Damn.
These people you talking about are your parents.
He said
and they inflicted that drama. Mm-hmm. That trauma
they
on
provoked.
them. You put that much trauma in your kids. Like, it ain't always been the Huxtables at our house.
No.
Like, there been some times where some shit was there, but I never had a thought that my kid was going to kill me when I'm asleep. Like, we talk about shit tomorrow or the next day, and we got to hold. That's some different shit. But hey, when you put that much trauma, and back to you, so that you get it. Hey, with your son.
Baby.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
David did come back and play football 2 years.
He did, and he was a phenomenal football player.
Terror.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, like this one thing I have grown to understand. Like, when I got married, I had a stepson. He was 2. 23 now. I had my son, 18, finna be 19. Then I got my baby boy, that's 9. Mm-hmm. Right? Both of my older kids, they saw me do my thing too in the sport. Mm-hmm. But they also see me move around in the street. Right?
You come over here.
not like in a bad way, but as far as the financial way.
Right.
So for me, I don't believe in finances. Like I don't love money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's not my thing.
Right.
I love living. I love being there for my
Experiences.
kids. Like even with my 9-year-old, I love trying to understand what it is. You know what I mean? Like I got on TikTok just to find fucking science experiments to do with my 9-year-old. You know what I mean? Like those things that we do on every other weekend. You know what I mean? So like it's comfortable, but it'd be like certain things that like could throw me off, and it'd be like, and like they all met my son. Like he's
cool
not
kid.
your average black kid that be in fucking Walnut Park.
No, he's not.
He's not.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like I have to have an understanding, and it's funny because it's like it be shit that trigger. It be like, I remember I love art, and I gave it up.
There it is.
I used to break dance.
What?
Gave it up.
Cool job.
I used to break dance at River Rose in the bowling alley.
Over by California Shirt Works.
We used to ride our bikes to Goodfellow in West Florissant to the tile shop where the China place is.
Oh
And
no.
buy a 12x12 and ride that joke with 3 cats on the bike on our shoulder to River Rose to make us some change to go upstairs to whatever that store was called. Right after you come out to the left, boom, you go right there. You buy your clothes where the truths and the used.
Yeah.
See, y'all know. Go there, then go down the hall to the balloon lady and get a balloon for the girl that's in the 8th grade and I'm in the 6th grade with the brain.
That's what I'm talking
Then
about.
go down there and go make a right and go where the Chinese lady was at by my silver chain and my Jodeci Syracuse jacket.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Like
Very specific.
those memories my children will never have. They'll never experience those things. You ride your bike from Kings Hollow in 70 to fucking River Rose, and you make a stop on West Florissant and Goodfellow. You get what I'm saying? Like
Never know that.
they'll never understand that. So, and I understand that. So my oldest boy, it was easy because they play sports. I coach, same as you. You know what I mean? But at the same time, my youngest, he don't like sports. So that was the first part that was hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then it became, I love science. I'm a dental surgical technician. I love science too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I tap into that part. But the other things, it'd be difficult. You know what I mean? Like the cartoon. I ain't watch cartoons. I was 6.
Does he do anime? Is that what it is?
What's wild though? Your son.
No, it's just like the things.
Regular
that I
cartoon?
don't understand. No, it's a YouTube cartoon.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, look, I can't speak on the kid part, but look, just talk about relationships. The question Dave asked was, how can a person get to that space to where they want to kill you or do something like that? So what I can say is, because once you've been in a relationship with a person for a certain amount of time, that becomes a family tie. It's not a biological family tie, but it becomes a family tie. And if you disappoint that person in a certain kind of way, they could get to that place. So if we're talking about men and women, it could be the man, it could be the woman. Typically the woman, because most women are hypergamous by nature. So which means that they typically look for a man that's better than them, make more money than them, taller than them, etc. All these different things. So that means his provision and his providing is typically going to be more. So here's how you get to a situational level like that from that relationship standpoint. Let's say that things start to dwindle and then you start underperforming from what you originally agreed to with this woman. It could be taking a car away. It could be you're going to get the silent treatment. Typically, women will do the silent treatment, right? The same thing that happened with the father. They'll do the silent treatment.
Like the father. Right?
Okay, so then you start taking things away, especially resources, and there's no real recourse. You can end up with glass ground up in your food. You can end up
that ever
shot.
happened to you?
Do you look at? I mean, do you look at Lifetime? I mean, do you look at what happened? Men can do it too, but typically the emotional side of a woman will make them do it more prominently. So that's how they can get to that place, because they like, oh my God, these things are being taken away from me, and the emotional side is going to kick in, and the first thing they're going to want to do is eliminate What's making them feel that emotional, especially if it's a benefit? Now I'm gonna say this one thing and I'm gonna pass it on. No fault, divorce and ending the relationships is one of the key factors of why women leave, because I'm not happy anymore. And they're not gonna leave empty-handed. I guarantee. And if it's a way that they could potentially leave empty-handed, they will delete you. They will delete you. They will unalive you if they can.
Baby, get your shit together. Baby, get your shit together. Get your shit together, baby.
Shit on Lifetime all the time.
Well, yeah, I've definitely.
There you go.
Appreciate it. No, I've definitely dealt with my fair share of women in situations, and I feel that to be true because in most instances, I'm probably the youngest person in this room.
How old are you, sweetie?
I am 33.
33. I remember 33.
I've been relationship prone since I give about 17, 18. But I just knew I was destined to be a husband.
Look
at some point, I just felt like I just knew I wanted to be a husband.
You got a wife?
That's why I got married at 19.
I don't.
I
don't.
He's the marrying kind too.
But I've been around women, and I've told him, as far as and as well as the other brothers that's been in my life, I learned women. Mm-hmm. I've lived my life to learn women because I was raised around women. Mm-hmm. So I learned their mannerisms. I learned their mannerisms, how they operate. And then in a lot of instances, it moves me. It helps. It helps me ultimately because my first child was a daughter. So I had to learn how to love her better than anybody around could love her. And it in a lot of instances, I failed that. It wasn't. I didn't do good. It wasn't. I didn't get no handbook given to me when I had my kid.
No, sir.
Especially not raising a daughter at 17. I didn't even learn. I didn't even know how to love women. I didn't know what women were. Like, I knew what women were. I knew what girls were. I didn't know what a woman was at 17. Now I'm learning women.
Do you think that lack there? I'm always the devil's advocate. Kind of
Come on, D.
Right?
Right.
You finna get started.
Yeah,
I
I love a deep conversation.
So here's the deal. Do you think that lack of leadership on the man's part dictates poor behavior on everybody else's part? Because rules, boundaries, and limitations and standards that are set, as long as they're demanded, that can correct or dictate behavior. Fair enough?
I do feel it because at the end of the day, I feel like rules, regulations, and standards are usually set by women. But at the same time, as a man, if that is something that you're raised around, you know how to operate yourself around certain women.
Right.
But if that's not something that you're raised around, then you have to learn it. You have to teach yourself those things.
What do you think the most important, if I said you got one question to ask a female, and we talked about this, right? We got into this over the weekend, right? I said if you had one question you could ask, what would that question be?
For me.
And why?
For me.
That's a fucking question.
That's an awesome question.
No,
ask
for me, it would be, what are your triggers and why? Because I know as a man, I don't do everything perfect. I fall short all the time. So I may do shit that's gonna piss you off. Like, I just had a conversation with a young lady on the phone maybe 20 minutes ago. I'm not perfect. I just had a conversation with the mother of my son, and I told her I'm not perfect. So I'm going to do things and shit that's going to piss you off. Let me know what I did. Don't just leave me hanging in the balance to think like or wonder what I did. Because I can't fix that if you don't tell me. Because I'm not a mind reader.
Okay.
So I don't know what I did. And I'm going to leave you. You're going to be sitting there feeling some type of way. You're going to be sitting there feeling some type of way like, oh, well, he did this. He said this. And he ain't going to try to make it right. I don't even know what I did. So let me know what I did. So if I can correct the problem, I will.
That's interesting.
How do you answer that question?
Ask it again.
If you had one question you could ask a woman that you're courting, what would that question be?
Why the hell you so goddamn crazy?
That's probably his question to me. On God. That's what the kids say. On God. On my mama. Go ahead.
Well, I've been married for so long, so to put myself in that space to try to think about that is weird. But I really dig his answer. I'm not even gonna lie. But in the place I'm in, I would ask when he said what's your triggers.
Ask me anything.
I would ask that today, knowing what I know. You know, and one of the things that I believe firmly, every human being on this planet needs therapy. Mm-hmm. Every human being. So like people go to marriage counseling because your marriage is fucked up. You go to this, but we need to go to personal counseling because we all are fucked up. We all got some triggers or some issues that make us function with other people in a way to where we don't even recognize it, but we are bleeding on people that didn't cut us every day. You know, so everybody needs therapy for one. And when we talking about relationships, the only person in a relationship that you can control is yourself.
Correct.
In any relationship, not just a marriage relationship, is yourself. And once you learn that you're the only person you can control in the relationship, you move different. So your reaction to things is different. And I know this ain't the actual topic, but when he was talking, it made me think about this. Like, me going to therapy helped me a lot, with not just me, but with my marriage. And one of the things and the analogies that I got out of it was this. Like, you a team. And you a team with everybody. Like, if you my boy, we on a team together. So we out and you do some shit and it don't pan out right. I can't get mad at you if I trust you. Right. Because if we a team and you up to bat, I gotta believe that your intention was to hit a fucking home run. Yep. Because you struck out, I can't be mad at you because I know what your intentions were. And if we carry that into our relationships, all our relationships, people that's solid with us, like, this was fucked up today, but I know what the heart was. You know, and then you respond different because you're the only person in the relationship you can control. So you control that reaction different. Instead of clowning them, you be more like, let's go to the batting cage.
Right, support them.
Let's practice these swings.
And that's how I feel, like, just piggybacking on what he said, like, as far as, because I went through therapy. I learned at a young age. I know I knew because I had been through certain things.
Good for you.
I've done a lot of shit.
For you.
I've lived life. I knew therapy was going to benefit me. So at some point, I knew I needed to talk to somebody other than the people that could just be, should piggybackers off me. Oh, you ain't wrong. You ain't this. You ain't. Nah. So I learned through therapy to hold myself accountable to where I could be in a position to hold the people around me accountable. So if I couldn't hold you accountable, you can't be around me.
I like that.
Can I say something with what you just said? So, right, that's my little cousin, right? That's my number two me.
I saw the resemblance. I saw the resemblance.
Wait, hear me out though.
Cause I ain't got no ding dog around here. I ain't said, look.
I don't even fuck with the ding dongs. You hear me? I don't even fuck with him at all anyway. But at the same time, like just real talk, like that's my little cousin. You know what I mean? Like, and we had issues in life and things transpire, right? Right, but like.
We brothers.
Just man for man, right? This is a question I would like you to answer. Because this is something that I think men that fuck with each other that ain't in our circle, they don't do. What's the dumb shit you didn't learn from me? Like the shit that you wish you could change, that you got from me and that taught you a lesson to not do that in that format. And it don't matter what it is.
We gonna keep it
true. Keep it funky.
What's the dumb shit?
What's the dumb? Because
so for me,
because this is called being held accountable.
That's the Miami.
And this is what I've done, and this is what and it's not just you, because just like we was just around each other, everybody yesterday, a few hours ago. What I've learned from them, and these are my brothers. These are guys that helped raise me. I didn't have a father, which I just seen my dad
Yesterday.
Probably about a few hours ago. And if I speak his name, motherfuckers don't know who he is. But nonetheless, from what I've learned from y'all, and that's what I even spoke about in therapy, is communication. Because a lot of y'all generation, because I'm younger than y'all generation was like, oh, we gonna be mad about this. We might not fuck with each other for a week, and then we gonna come back to it, or we might, goddamn me, just be like, fuck it. Nah, we gonna talk about it. And you might not like what I want to say, but I ain't gonna tell you shit you don't need to hear. And I learned that with anybody that I'm gonna deal with. Because I'm gonna tell you how you made me feel. You might not like how it's coming off because I am an asshole. And I'm learning that. My delivery is not everything. It's not gonna be everything all the time. I might tell you some shit that's gonna come off fucked up. But at the same time, it's something that needs to be said.
Right. Can't be censored.
And from you, I will say just your interaction with certain people, and I've said this to you, your interaction is fucked up.
That's so awesome.
And I'm gonna hold you accountable.
Right, but that's
just what it is.
We do.
And that's what it's gonna be.
Guaranteed. This man right here sitting right
And
here.
it ain't even your interaction, it's your reaction to
me.
certain
This man right here
events.
gonna
And it
check
ain't
me.
just
This man right
yours.
here gonna check me.
Because I got a line of brothers. It ain't just yours. Y'all interaction is fucked up the way, but it wasn't just on you. Because I've had this conversation with my mama. It was a lot of shit I didn't learn because my mama didn't teach me that shit. Because that's who raised me. But at the same time, she wouldn't talk that shit. So how she gonna teach me something she didn't know?
What you don't know.
That goes back to what I said earlier. You only know what you've been exposed to.
Don't know what you don't know.
If you've only, like, people be like, well, you only had a 5th grade education.
Yeah.
That don't mean, I'm not going to say that don't mean nothing. But
That was good.
But if he was raised by some smart people, it don't matter what, Benjamin K. Elementary taught him. It don't matter what Franklin Roosevelt High School taught him. If he was brought up by some intelligent people and be able to
you look really fly like that.
You did. I fuck with the glasses though. I ain't gonna fuck with you, D. I fuck with the glasses though, my boy.
You look like your name D. We gonna call you D. Fuck
But I do want to speak on that because I was listening to
Hold
it.
on.
Go ahead.
Because I just got it. Come on. I don't want us to bypass what the fuck just happened. Real talk, man.
Come on.
That was a beautiful moment.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Brother, for you to ask that question on the live podcast to somebody that's also real enough to tell you the real on the live podcast, niggas are phony every day, all motherfucking day. You're not gonna ask that question because you don't want to hear the answer. You don't want to ask that question. Now listen, you want to, and that's why I'm saying that was beautiful. Because you asked that question on a live podcast. We don't ask that question because we don't want to hear the answer.
You don't want to hear it.
And then we got so many people that are pussies when the cameras put on them to respond and say the shit they need to say, like this brother just did, they won't say it.
I love
They'll dodge it. They'll be like, oh no, everything cool. We good, man. You ain't everything you did was always good, man. We been cool. Some bullshit.
Yes, man.
That was some real shit.
I ain't gonna never be that
different.
I'm glad to be in the room right now.
They'll all tell you, man. It's loyalty, then love.
No, but and to me though, y'all, it depends on who the guy you are. I know I got these shades. I feel crazy. I can't even see myself.
You look fly as
but
shit.
check it out. Me and Cornell, just to give y'all a quick thing. Me and Cornell, we've met each other.
Thank you.
And we've seen each other on a few occasions, but we don't hang out. Me and him can't say one time where we went and kicked it or none of that. But we got
to have y'all
much.
over.
No, but look, this man called me the other day. First time me and him ever talking on the phone outside our car deal. You know what I'm saying? And he called me. And me and this man probably had a fit. Me and him both kept saying, "Hey man, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go."
Right.
But we kept.
Really?
But let me say
Well,
this.
how come did nobody tell you?
But see, what I'm saying is that
wasn't your
it go to
business.
show you that men on a certain level, it don't matter your age. It don't matter your age. You get what I'm saying? It's on a level, and it's not even maturity. I think it's something that don't nobody know the answer to. Me, him, we was out. We went on a retreat, but it was actually a pilot for his show, and we were out there with some men. Two white guys. We didn't know. He know him. We didn't know him. We talking age range. How old is Conrad?
23.
23. Now we out there with a 23-year-old white guy, and only reason I'm putting the race in there is going to come to my point. He didn't never hang out with us. We had 3 days, and you would have swore we've been knowing each other since we was Look, you would have swore Conrad grew up down on the west side. And not because he was talking gangster or ghetto. It was just he was able to hold a conversation with 50-year-old men, 40-year-old men. And we didn't never feel like we was talking to a little boy.
But see, that's how it's being with.
Hustle different. But like Cujo, they just remind me, like when Cujo, he'll tell you the story of me and his beginnings. Cujo was a young teen. He was just happened to be in a place where the tattoo shop. He just happened. That's why actually, see, I had to play through him to meet this man here, to meet a whole bunch of people that I would have never got to meet. And that's a beautiful thing about me. I know damn near everybody. You know what I'm saying? Which is a good thing.
Unofficial.
Unofficial man.
No, that's official.
Yeah. When it comes to us, it's official.
Right.
Like,
but what I'm saying is
like that's official.
The officially unofficial man.
Right, but my thing is
that's
that
official.
It depends on, like I told you, it depends on where you can only go as far as what you've seen and what you've been exposed to. You got millionaires that ain't never been out of town.
Yep.
Because, they don't know no better. It's like, you can go in somebody's house and be like, man, they show you that bank account. Man, you got $780,000 on your bank account. You ain't never been to Atlanta.
You want me to tell you this?
Damn, Atlanta.
Let me say this. You want me to tell you the funniest part about that, right?
Talk to me.
Is, like, I was probably like 13. I'm 46. I was about 13. Right?
That's how long I've been?
And the interesting part was when Dave met me, he met probably 5 of my cohorts the same day. You know what I'm saying? Like my big cousin, right? And just as the process went, it was like, you know how you moving up in the world, and then you run into people that don't pay attention to you moving up in the world. Mm-hmm. That's what Dave was. It didn't matter how much money, how much jewelry, what stores we went to before we went to Foot Locker. It didn't matter what it was. It was always, "What's up, little nigga?" Yeah. But Dave ain't never liked to use the nigga word either. So he never said that. I can't remember the word he used to call, but it was always there.
And I'm an East Coast. It was true. He called my guys true.
There you go.
I'm an East Coast.
I knew it was something. It was different. It was different.
All my guys went to NYU instead of going to California.
I got it. I'm with you.
So just as a process of life, right? Like I was the him to me to him.
Yeah.
Right. There you go.
Connection.
There you go.
That's the connection.
I like that.
That's the
Right?
connection.
Like, and he'll tell you, I done sat up there and told him, do not bring your black ass back here.
And it was for your best interest. And you knew how to take that. You wasn't mad.
Listen, and guess what I was doing? I was walking to the store. Right or wrong. Mississippi. This nigga's a fucking amazing chef, bro. June made it.
Come
on
on
every
now.
platform.
Come on, every platform. Come on. Give it up. Hey, we gonna pay.
Let's
We
check.
gonna pay.
Let's
Hey,
check.
listen. We gonna look. Now y'all hearing this live on the Hustle Different podcast. I am gonna get with Mr. Dave Moore, and we are gonna find us a spot. And like we did, we had Matt. We had our chef Matt out with us on our last. We would love for you to come out. He has a show. I'm gonna go on here plug him while we here. We got Dave Moore.
right,
We got
DLM.
Hey,
Dave
DLM Moore just made it away. It's up there, y'all. Mr. Moore has a show. He has a podcast/show called Table for Three, where three's never a crowd. And what he does is he brings in chefs. We have conversations. You make a meal. You actually teach. You know what I mean? Your own personal recipes, ones you want to give away. We bring it in, and we film you from beginning to end, and then we have a conversation after we all sit down and eat. It's called Table for Three. Dave L. Moore, y'all look out for that.
Forget y'all threes. Me and Cujo next. Cause forget y'all.
We got a lot of
Cujo
footage.
next.
We got a lot of footage. We got a lot of
But
footage.
the whole thing out. Listen. This was not a Hustle Different thing. This was a Table for Three event. And
Me and Cujo next.
we're all listen. We are family.
It's
We are
funny
family.
because
Come on, tell them,
how
Dave.
that happened was.
Come on.
See what
Tell them
happened
the
was.
truth.
No, the truth
Tell
was.
them the truth.
Man, this year has been hard, right? It's been a difficult year. It's been difficult for me, man. So
Not just you.
I was not, and probably everybody else. I'm not organic in going through that, right? So my wife says, "Hey, man, you stressed out."
See that?
You need to go fish and do what you like to do.
Ain't God good?
You need to go do something to get a little stress off of you because you're stressed out. You're going through it from 4 shots in the neck to blowing out the calf to all sorts of craziness, man. Work craziness. Just everything going nuts. So I said, you know what? I'm going to call my brother and call Frankie, my buddy Frankie. And before I forget, I better say something to Miss Paulette because I told her I was going to say something to her.
Shout out Miss Paulette.
Shout out Miss Paulette.
Shout out Miss Paulette.
Appreciate you. You know, yes, sir.
Shout out Miss Paulette.
No, man. I say, hey, we going fishing. I'm going to get a house in Innsbruck. We just going to go fishing for a while. That's what I like to do, man. Can't put my boat in the water, but that's cool. I don't care what boat. We'll get a house right off the lake. Good to go.
Never been fishing.
Oh, well, we got to fix that.
You
gotta
do
that. So,
we got to fix that.
So,
I'll take you this week.
My brother say, hey, something happened, come up. He
booth.
can't go. Frankie can't go. So now I'm like, well, I got a couple bedrooms. I'm weird because I'm like, I don't care. I go by myself with my dog. I'm that kind of guy. I don't even care. It don't matter.
I just told my cousin I date myself. He was like, we don't call them dates. No, nigga, we call them dates. I take myself on dates. I will go sit at the bar and
So I say, you know what? Why don't we just do this thing I've been thinking about for a while instead of putting it off any longer? Let's just go ahead and get the ball rolling and get it started. It was something that I thought of a little bit ago. We had talked about it. We rapped about it. So why put it off any longer, right? Let's do it. Make the calls to the people. Everything cool. Everybody ready to go. And it just organically happened, man. And the footage that y'all gonna see, the time that we had, the food, the conversations, the fishing that was going on. We get down there the first night.
Who fished other than you?
Conrad.
They fished?
No, we didn't fish.
Yeah.
Conrad.
So y'all ate what y'all caught.
No.
Well,
I got a story on that. I got a story on that. I got a story on that one too. But
so
no, let's wait on the podcast first. Then we talk about it after.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. But no, it's gonna be good footage, man. It's just people having an organic good time.
Yeah, it wasn't rehearsed. We
I'm
called
not
Jay
gonna
at the
ever do
last
anything
minute. It was the last
scripted.
minute.
I don't like being scripted because scripted is fake.
Right.
And
that's
people
why we
can
do what we
sense
do.
fakeness, right? They can sense that. And I don't like that. That's why any video that you see, it is never, ain't a word been rehearsed. My man Conrad gets the camera, he say, go. And then it just happens. That's how it goes. And when it's that way, people enjoy it. The conversations is nuts.
Because you don't even know the
question I asked
going on.
today was a question I asked when we were down there.
Yes, sir.
What was your answer, by the way, Jay? The question was, if you're courting a female, what's the one question, if you got one question to ask her, what do you ask?
Can we send it around the room?
Yeah, let's go around. We can't skip Miss Shantae. You first.
No. I want to hear Jay because
okay.
I'm going to say this.
Were you-
I saw some posts that he had, and it really changed. Like, yeah.
Were you properly trained to be a wife?
There it is. That's the question. A lot of people don't ask.
Were you properly trained to be a wife?
He asked me.
I guess you define properly trained, but
I would ask would be.
That's not a fucking answer.
It is.
there is an answer. There is an answer.
I want to speak on that.
The
though.
question was,
Listen what I'm saying.
were you properly trained to be a wife?
That's a great question.
And the reason I asked that question is because if you have not been,
It's like basic education.
that's an issue.
Because you said and why. You did add.
I
Let's not
did.
forget the and why.
Yes.
And that's the part.
It's coming your way.
I noticed that. I've been looking at your phone.
Tay, you answered it already.
I've been checking. I haven't answered.
Let it go.
What's your why? And
What's
why?
your why? No, we got 2 mics on you. What's your why?
You say why was they properly?
Why would
Why
you
would
ask
you
that?
ask
Why
that
is that question?
Yeah. Why would you ask that question?
Because you can't teach that. They have to already come with that equipment. If they're not hardwired to be that, you can't change her into that. And I did a live last night. A lot of people probably didn't get all the way into it. If they're not properly trained to be that, the failure rate is gonna skyrocket. That's why 80% of marriage, 76% of marriages end in divorce, and 80% of those are initiated by the woman because the majority of them were not properly They got to put the word properly, trained to be a wife. So they don't understand it's not just about happiness. It's about duty. It's about loyalty. It's about understanding your mate. Have I ever been married? I've never been married. So people often come to me like that. Well, where's your wife? I've never been married, but I also never been in a burning building. But I know fire is hot, and I know I don't want to be in there. You know what I'm saying? So, they can never discredit me for that. But the thing about it is, when I do choose a woman, I'm gonna make sure that she meets the criteria. That's the first one. Was she trained to be one? And the criteria, I'm not going to bend from it. People don't get what they want out of life, period. One, because they don't ask for it. Two, because they are afraid to offend. And you don't have to be vulgar. Some people get offended when you're being proper and direct. So that's the key point. You can't take a person, a woman, a lady that have not been trained, have not seen a model, have not had that kind of education and learning of being a wife. They don't even come with a recipe book, so they can't even feed and nurture you. So that's the first thing, man. That's
Can I answer why right quick? Can I answer why right quick? Then I'm gonna ask you the next question.
Yes, sir.
I want to speak on that.
It is.
I got to answer before we leave.
The reason I asked that question is because
6 now.
I need to know if you can help me become the best version of myself for both of us.
Ooh, that's a good answer.
It's not because I want you to do
X,
this
Y, Z.
and that
Yeah.
and this. I need to know, can you help me get to where I need to be? The last time I was on her, we talked about maybe the role of the wife. My wife is my neck. I'm the head. I get that. Because the most important part is the neck. The head don't matter. You can replace the head. But if I put a head on the shoulders with no neck, I can't even turn left and right. So what's the most important? So I need to know, I asked that question because I need to know if you can help me reach my full potential, which in the end of the day is going to help everyone.
And you already got that though, because when you started this conversation, you said you were stressed.
Oh.
And your wife said,
oh, yes, sir.
This is what
Let
you
me
need
fix
to do.
Yes, sir.
And that said it in a nutshell right there.
That was it.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
when I talk to people about relationships, and I've been in one for 28 years now, with a person that helped me to grow to be who I am.
Yes, sir.
You know, and she's strong-willed. She does all these things that if you don't know me, you might think that I'm some pushover off in the corner somewhere. But I'm not that.
Right.
You just understand your
But
wife.
I understand my wife,
learn to love
but this
her
is what I
and
also
that
understand, and this is what people miss about relationships, because all our relationships are unique. Yours is different than mine. Yours is different than mine. What makes it special is when you can look at it and you can see the growth in you and the growth in the relationship and what you get. Like he was saying earlier, I don't know why you ain't bigger, because the way she cooked. Like, listen, 98% of the food I eat, she prepared.
Right.
Like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When she out of town, I'm still eating a home cooked meal that she prepared.
Right.
Because I
You
meal
know,
prep.
there's a lot of people that can't say that they got that in their life, you know, and I appreciate that. So I gave that point because that's what she does throughout the rest of our life too. It ain't just the cooking; it's everything else she add to me to help me be able to be who I am. You know, I know I'm a strong man, but I also know that I didn't get here by myself.
The king only moved one spot.
Hey, Cornell, let me ask you a quick question.
Queen watch everything.
Because
Wait,
hold on, real quick. It's 1 second. It's 1 second. But when you met your wife, were you either close to being or working on being the best version of you?
Man, I was 23 years old. I didn't know who the fuck I was.
So you saying she
real with you? I didn't know who I was. I was out of a bad relationship. I didn't know what direction was up.
He just said that yesterday. He was
Yeah,
lost.
I mean,
That's what he said. He was lost.
And the thing is, man, when you that young, you still trying to figure yourself out. There ain't too many people. I mean, every now and then we'll find a gifted person that's in their early 20s that know they shit. And you be like, damn, that motherfucker. I wish I was that at 20. Early 20.
Right.
At 23, man, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was
Your turn.
Come on,
You
come
got
on.
married at 23. How old was you when you got married?
I was 19.
All right. The question again.
25. But
Not 25.
if you had one question that you could ask a female you were courting, what would it be and
Who's
why?
gonna get final call, y'all, before we go?
At 46. Your question would have been different at 25.
Allow me to be me, and that's what you love.
That's dope. I would have asked him that question. I would have asked that question.
Yeah, you allowing me to
If
be
you
me?
allowing me to be me and love me,
Because are you changing me?
I'm 43. I mean
Yeah.
46.
No, I get
He
it.
don't even know how old he is. So that mean he don't know.
But I feel like you eventually
Well, okay,
you change for the people that you with. If you saying that you gonna grow old or you gonna learn and love this person for this X amount of the rest of your life, you're gonna change
I don't necessarily think the word is change. I think it's grow.
But
Because
it-
to
it's still-
change
for me,
means
it's
you
the
become
same
something
thing.
you're not.
For me, it's the same thing. I definitely understand.
Okay, because
you
it's
alter
growth.
yourself.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
alter your
You change-
mannerisms
yeah, you grow.
in the way that you move in the ways for this person that you're saying that you're going to be with.
I agree.
But with him saying, I won't personally ask a woman, were you properly trained to
Yeah,
be a
that's
wife?
fucking
Because
crazy
I
to
wasn't
me.
properly trained to be a
Who the
husband.
I don't want a
I'm
dog.
learning how
I
to
want
be a
woman.
husband. I'm teaching myself
want nothing
how
that's
to be a
trained.
man to a woman that deserves me.
But see,
So that wouldn't be
No, it's
your
not
question.
me personally.
No, but like his question,
No,
his
it's-
question, because like I said,
what-
you
That's
mentioned
how I feel like
you
he
want a
said.
dog,
I
but you
didn't
want a
know
woman.
what I was doing at 23.
you
I didn't know
mentioned-
women.
Come on, cuz.
Give me a
You
one.
want something that's trained?
Come on.
Yeah.
We getting out of here.
They say you train dogs,
So you
but
need to
you
go to
encourage
y'all.
and you
Hustle Different Podcast. Y'all know how we do. The podcast still going on, even though we
We'll
going
see
up the
it out.
camera. Hustle Different Podcast it's still going on.
Somebody
Still going. Hey, want to thank our special
Your
guest,
house is worth
Mr. Cornell Young, for coming out, y'all.
You looking sexy
Here we'll be
tonight. You
back.
might get
This is
some,
my
and I
guy.
fight.
Hey, look, trust me.
And
we're
I
gonna
fight.
be back more than y'all think.
And I
Hey,
fight.
Kindred Spirit, this
No,
my
and
guy.
we ain't
Shantae
fighting
hate
every
me.
week.
She hate me. She
No.
gonna hate it, bro.
That's it.
She's gonna hate it. I'm just letting you know. But hey, we ain't worried about her right now. That's right.
bitches.